Mark DeCracker grew up in Lyons, a small town in the northern Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. It's one of the towns that boomed once the Erie Canal opened in the early 1820s. Mark has always had a special connection to the canal.
I started back with the Erie Canal history part. I was actually doing a video project I wanted to do the local history of Lyons. And when I came to a couple sites that were old locks on the Erie Canal, I was devastated. Why do these look so trashed out? They actually made an area into a dump. I kept thinking more about, so went back and wrote, I kind of come up with an acronym. It was called the Barge Canal back then. I said, this doesn't work. So I worked with Erie, and I came up with Erie's restoration interests everyone.
Mark realized that people who lived in the communities along the canal cared about its history and had stories to tell. One of those people was a local pharmacist in Lyons. He was inspired by a brochure in the pharmacy that highlighted a mural project in Little Rock, Arkansas. Knowing Mark was an artist, the pharmacist commissioned Mark to paint a mural for the store. Mark jumped on the idea, but knew he couldn't do it alone. So the pharmacist introduced Mark to Noel Dobbins.
And I remember the first email. He says, "Can I bring my kids?" Kids in painting, 5 and 7? Yeah, we can make this work. And so my other artists worked with him, and they painted a farmer's market mural. And that immediately, because he saw his kids involved, he bought into it, and he just took off.
Combining their passion for history and love of art, Mark and Noel dreamt up a plan. They'd create a 40-mile-long mural trail following the towns along the canal. They called it Mural Mania.
So these different communities could have their story told by mural painters from all over the world, that they would do a consignment from these communities, and we take the artwork down the canal and drop it off, just like they would have dropped goods off in the 1800s.
But only a year after they began painting, Noel was diagnosed with cancer. Noel died in 2007 after only working on one mural. Losing the person who shared the dream of making the canal beautiful was devastating, but it motivated Mark to push the project forward.
After Noel passed away, all this idea of a dream of 40 miles turned into 85 miles of murals, a global mural conference in 2016, continually painting murals everywhere. We could have stopped in 7. No, we kept painting, and here we are today.
This is Canal Keepers, a podcast where we tell the stories of people who keep the Erie Canal relevant today. I'm your host, Gloria Rivera. Art has been part of the Erie Canal for its 200-year history. The canal's scenic landscape has inspired painters and architects. In this episode, Mark DeCracker, a local artist and video creator. The Mural Mania team has created what Mark claims to be the longest mural trail in the world, with 75 murals stretching from Macedonia to Syracuse. Mark says the mural trail brings communities together while restoring the canal.
I don't want to take a building that's incredible architecture and put a mural on it. No, but I'll take a disheveled building that's ugly and make that beautiful. When you see the people locally and get inspired from this, and it brings back their memories, it makes it all worthwhile for everybody.
A small team of artists is constantly in mural production, and the team is always looking for new artists to help. Beverly Owen first got involved with Mural Mania in 2010.
I was going to prime the boards. I'd never painted in my life. Just, walls, that's it. And so I went in there, and they had already primed them the day before. So he says, "Can you draw a deer?" And I said, "I don't know." And on that mural, I did 19 birds and 4 mammals.
The team is working on a mural that will commemorate the Wayne County Bicentennial. The mural will be in Williamson, New York, on the side of the Thatcher Building off of Route 104. A lot more goes into creating a mural than painting pictures on a wall. It's a years-long process involving research, sketching, gridding, paneling, and gathering quality materials. The artists have to ensure that the mural is historically accurate and aligns with their artistic vision.
I've always liked history, and you're always people don't go to libraries like they used to, and I think they're not teaching history in school as much. If you put a historic mural in public, it's there for always. And then people go, when you know you've nailed it is when I had a couple of 4th or 5th graders sat in front of the first mural, and they were going, "Wow, I didn't know that this happened. There was a trolley and a mule that pulled boats and all that stuff. And then I said, yeah, we got to keep doing this. Like I said earlier, every community's got a story to tell.
The mural's 7-panel design will showcase the canal's development from the 1800s to today. The team makes sure each image is packed with purpose, displaying architectural landmarks, goods traded along the canal, and different forms of transportation, such as brownie cars and railways. Mark outlined the concepts for each window, starting with the earliest settlements to the War of 1812 to today.
We become a recreational community, things like fishing and hiking and kayaking and biking and murals.
The team is shooting to have their mural completed by the bicentennial of the Erie Canal in 2025, and Mark will continue to tell important stories from canal communities.
When I go back to assisted living facilities and sing, and I hear the wonderful stories from all the people, I was a princess and I was a queen and I had my bicycle with little baseball cards going through it. You go, this is why we do this, because it brings those people back and remembers their good times and things.
Canal Keepers is a production of students at the S.I. Newhouse School of Public Communications at Syracuse University. This episode was reported by Ella Rivera and Ella Duplain, written by Ella Rivera and edited by Lauren Bavis, produced by Dan Klazowski, who also composed our intro music. Check out our website, canalkeeperspod.com, to follow painters and their trail of murals. You can also read about other artists inspired by the Erie Canal. And follow us on Instagram, @CanalKeepers. I'm your host, Gloria Rivera. Thanks for listening.